Hi there, I'm Michelle the Painter. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make some holiday decorations using fluid acrylic paint. So we'll be pouring the acrylic paint onto these clear ornaments. So the ornaments I'm going to be using today are about 2.5 inches in diameter. They are plastic clear, and you can take the little tops off of them for purposes of decorating them. So that's what I'm going to be using for that. I am using acrylic paint that has been mixed 50-50 with this fluid Floetrol that I use. So this is all pre-mixed paint. The colors I have here are titanium white, metallic silver, metallic gold, metallic copper, Mars black, fluorescent pink, ultramarine blue, primary magenta, deep yellow, fire red, burnt umber, which I like to call brown, fluorescent orange, and phthalo green. Of course, you can switch up your colors, but that's what I have used. And how I'm kind of setting up my station here is like this. So I popped the top off of the ornament, and I have this foam little disc. You can get, I got mine on Amazon. You can certainly find yours anywhere, or just a big like rectangle of foam will work. And then I have straws. So what I did was I got a bunch of these just generic kind of bendy straws, and then I cut it to whatever length I want, and then I stick it into my foam tray. And this allows me, if I have any time that I want to just kind of move it around and stuff, I can hold it. So that's why I did it this way. And let's see. Oh, and then I have some clear cups that I'll be using to pre-pour my medium into before I pour it onto my ornaments. And that's all I need for my materials. Oh, and a paper towel for drying or washing my hands. And I think that's it. So I'm going to get into showing you how to pour now. All right, so I think for the first one, I'm going to be, I want to use some of this gold. So I'm going to kind of put some of that down first. Then I'm going to put some white. You can really go any color combination that you want. This is totally up to you. I'm going to use a little bit of my magenta, maybe some of my ultramarine blue. I do think that for me, I like the high contrast because I can, it tends to blend a lot when it's kind of settling. So the high contrast from the black to the white really provides some nice cells, and also makes it still have some good different texture elements. So that's good on that one, I think. So now I'm gonna just kind of start pouring this over the top. And you can really use any kind of pouring method that you want. The trick is just to get a nice good coverage. So I'm just kind of, as it's going down the edges, just making sure I've got some good coverage. And then I'm going to let this kind of just pour out. And what I'm also going to do is, one second, let me just get this all out of here. If I needed to, I could take and just kind of tip it a little bit, but I'm going to take at the bottom, once as it's kind of like coming down the bottom, I just have a little straw I'm using to make sure that it's not going to be connected to the dangling straw. So I'll just watch that as it kind of melts down that side, and making sure it just gets down the side. So you can certainly tip it, but I found that just kind of letting it sit here, it will drip down that side. So we're going to let that one rest. Let's go in for another color combination. I'm going to just set this one to the side. Maybe we'll just set that one over there. So we're going to go into another color combination. This one I think I want to do lots of pink in it. So I'm going to start with some white. Then I'm going to go into my fluorescent pink. And again, you can do any colors you want. I think I'm going to go with silver on this one. I'm using these metallics to allow for these ornaments to be nice and shiny. I am going to put a clear coat varnish on them later, but I wanted to be really nice and shiny too, so I used some of that magenta. I think I'm actually going to put a touch of red in here too, and white, because the red and white will make another shade of pink. And then maybe a tiny bit of brown for that darker contrast that I like. And then a little bit more of my silver, because you know, you can never have enough shine. There we go. And then I think I'm going to start pouring on this one. So again, you can certainly pour yours any way that you want. I'm just kind of taking it from the top and just giving it a little swirl around. Ooh, this one's going to look awesome. And just finding these colors that you like, the color combinations. You could certainly do like theme it for whatever color your Christmas tree is, or all your decorations on your Christmas tree. Ooh, I can't wait for this. So you're going to see as it kind of melts or drips down that side, that these colors, they just start to form all these really cool designs. So I think the next one I'm going to, I like that one too. I'm going to set that one aside, and then I'm going to go into another one. I think this one I want to have some cool colors, some nice blues and greens. So we're going to go, I think I'm going to start this one with a little bit of black on the bottom, and then I'm going to go with phthalo green, white, phthalo green again, little white, some ultramarine blue, little white, and then, oh, I need some shine. Shine, I would do silver for a shine on some cool ones. So some shine, give it a lot of shine, that'll show through. And then, I think maybe just a little more of my phthalo green and a touch of black, because we got the black underneath too. Let's do a tiny bit of black on top. All right, and then we're gonna go for another one. So here we go. We're gonna pour this one. And if you find that you're, like, I wanted my fluidity to be not super duper, ooh, I love that phthalo green in there with the silver, too drippy, because I think when it's too almost like fluid like water, what happens is the colors almost blend into one solid tone, and because it's falling, it's not like laying flat like normal fluid art. So I did a 50-50 ratio on mine, whereas you could certainly do yours thicker or thinner, and that's going to have an impact on how much it kind of blends along the way. I'm going to have fun with the next one, and instead of pouring it, I'm going to actually squeeze it from my bottle and see what happens. So we're going to go in for another one, and this one I think I'm going to do some colors I haven't done yet. So let's do the copper. So let's see what happens when we just kind of pour it directly on. Copper, white, yellow. Let's do some of my orange. Oh, see, now I feel like I could probably kind of tilt it to give it some of that. More copper. So this is what would happen if you just kind of poured it directly on here. Maybe a little bit more white. Or if you just went one color for one color. And then I could sit here and just kind of tip it around. And then what's going to happen, even though it looks pretty solid right now, you'll start to see like the little cells and stuff, the other colors will start to pop through. I definitely need more color over on this side. Let me just put this down because I have shaky hands. Let's get some down on this side. So this could be a more controlled kind of application. If I did that, maybe I can put another little dot of white. And you can see like a little yellow pop just happened right in through there. So I'm going to actually let this one sit and see what happens to it, because I think that's kind of an interesting idea in through there. And I can already see some little cells popping on that one. let's see. So the next one I think I'm going to do, I think I want to do a black and white one. So maybe black, white, and just my metallic colors. So I'm going to go white, and I'm going to do all of my metallic colors. So there's one, that's the gold. I'll do a little black. Ooh, maybe this one could be like a New Year's Eve one. Some silver. Maybe some more white, some copper. So this is all metallics and black and white. So this should be pretty darn cool. Ooh, we're not gonna have much white for the next one, that's all right. And a little more black on this one. There we go. And here we go. Let's see what this one looks like. So again, just this was black, white, and my 3 metallic colors. So I can just kind of swirl it around. Make sure, ooh, they're so pretty. And again, you can take this concept and do it in any kind of color combination that you want. And I will show you, once I get my 6th one done, we'll go back to the first one so you can see how it's actually, how it's looking as it's kind of settling on that ornament. So the next one that I'm going to do, I think I want it to be, well, I really liked that dark one. So let's go with, oh, let's go Patriotic. Let's go red, blue, and white. So we're going to go red, white, and blue, I should say. American Patriotic. Red, white, and blue. There we go. And then maybe a little bit more white. And then we're going to do another layer of my red and blue. Red, white, and blue. There we go. We're going to grab this last one. So you could do like Halloween-inspired colors, autumn-inspired colors. It doesn't have to be with just these kind of ornaments. You could do it with like candle holders and all kinds of other fun, clear, and it doesn't even have to be clear, but decorative item. If you did it with clear, you could always put like a little light bulb on the inside, and that would make a great kind of little cover for a light. There we go, some red, white, and blue. So I see purple tones have been created because red and blue makes purple. So I'm going to actually go back to my first one so you can see how these are settling, and you can, I'll show you what I do at the bottom. I had made mention of just making sure that that bottom is not connected to my foam. So I guess if I had done them a little bit higher, I wouldn't have to worry about that, but this one seems to be fine. But you can see how I've got all of these little different, I don't want to touch it because I will mess with the action of all the little cells and all the little designs that are happening, but you can see how it definitely blended out a little bit more. And then this one over here to this right, this was the second one that I did, and I can just kind of twist it around, and you can see, oop, don't touch that one. You can see how the colors are really coming out great. And then this one, I think this one might almost be my favorite. Well, they're all pretty cool, but I'm going to put this one back in the front area here so you guys can see. This one was the white, the one that I just layered on the colors without putting them in a cup. So you can see how each layer kind of has these little cells that pop. The thinner the paint is, the more fluid medium that you have in it, the more it will react to these little cells. So you can see I've got a couple of them over here, and it'll, as it starts to dry a little bit more, it will those will get a little bit bigger. I'm going to take my straw, make sure these other ones are not connected to the bottom, and then we're going to let them dry, and then after they're dried I'll show you how to put a clear coat on them so you can get them hung on your trees. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to finish the decorations, the acrylic pour ornaments that we did. So these were what we had done and I let them dry overnight. These guys right in through here. Let them dry overnight. So what happens when acrylic paint dries, it's going to be kind of dull. So there's no shine to this, and I really wanted them to be nice and shiny. So this is one that I have shined up. It's all nice and like glass. This is my 6th one that I've already attached to its little hook. So this is completely done. So how I got it from being this dull stage to this beautiful, nice and shiny stage is really quite simple. So what I do is I've got Liquitex High Gloss Varnish, and then what I did was I poured it into a cup because it's super liquidy. So instead of trying to paint it onto these balls, I just put it in a cup, and then this bottom portion of the ornament is going to be covered by that metal cover anyway, so I can just hold on to this and dunk it, submerge it, dunk it in. I just kind of let it hang for a second, and then I put it back onto its original little holder that I did the pour on. And so now I'll let this sit and dry. Probably this will take a couple of hours to fully dry. I did 2 layers to get to this one in through here. And that's all it takes. And then just let it dry before you put the little housing on, and then you have these beautiful shiny decorations for your Christmas tree or for your holiday decorations. So I hope you enjoyed learning how to do that fun pour, and, you know, go make some decorations.